together on this platform and share our knowledge. That was super exciting because I think this is one of the first type of events that I've actually been a part of. And I'm super impressed with how you've put it together and the quality of the people who you've invited here. So my name is Salma Jafri, and I'm a content marketing strategist and speaker. And I have to be really honest up front with you. I'm actually really lazy. In fact, what I do is I always look for these shortcuts. So when I'm doing content strategy, I'm looking for getting like the maximum out of the minimum. And that's how I can make this go further. Do more with this. I'm creating all this amazing content, but it's gonna like die out in a day, a week, a month. No, I want more out of it, right? How can I do more? But at the same time, I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to be repetitive. I don't want to be annoying either. And so, my content ideas all stem from the fact that I'm really a lazy ass marketer myself. And so I appeal to people who are, content creators, but who really want to get like value out of everything that they do. And they want to put in a lot of effort into creating something really good to start with and then get really good value out of it. So that's what upcycling is. And so I'm going to share my screen here and get straight into the presentation. Here we go. So it's called 5 Reasons to Upcycle Every Piece of Content You Create for Maximum Mileage. And these are all of my strategies, condensed in a 10-minute format here for you guys. So smart content creation strategies for lazy-ass marketers. Anyway, so what this GIF is supposed to be showing is, the little bunny from Zootopia banging her head against the desk. But since you can't see that, I'm just going to have to leave it to your imaginations that when I'm thinking about content creation, it's overwhelming. It feels like it's a never-ending exercise that you have to constantly keep coming up with new ideas, and you have to constantly be fresh and original. And so what I really want to do is in this 10-minute presentation, which I think might be like 7 minutes left, what I want to tell you about is that I want to tell you about my lazy but smart mantra, which essentially is going to let you not be so overwhelmed with the process of content creation. I want to introduce you to upcycling and then tell you 5 reasons why it's such a great way to create content and 10x it for maximum effect. So let's get straight into it. So essentially, the starting point is to not add noise to the world. So I think that creating content just for the sake, like, how companies do, we have to push out 1 blog post every week, or we absolutely have to, create like 1 video every week. So when it becomes like a have to or a must have, then I feel that things start to erode in terms of quality. And I feel that it starts to affect a company's output, right? So what I would really like to do instead is create content not by adding noise, but by adding value. So one of the biggest content creation challenges, or rather 2 of them actually, that are in every study that's been done in the last few years, and these are figures from last year, from 2016's Content Marketing Institute study, that marketers are really overwhelmed with producing engaging content and producing enough of this engaging content. So I think we need to get back focus into actually, focusing on what is it that the audience really wants rather than, we have to stick to a schedule and push out a blog post every week. If we want to 10x our output, so we want to get smart and strategic. Now, strategic essentially here to me means work backwards. So we need to figure out, okay, what are our goals? And then reverse engineer the success of that goal. So if our goal, for example, is lead generation, okay, how can we get people to sign up? What will they sign up for? Are we going to give them something so valuable that they're going to give up their email addresses to us for? So, or strategic could be, for example, we want more view time on, let's say, YouTube, right? How can we say our stuff in such a way on video that people are going to stay hooked minute after minute and keep watching that stuff, right? So how do we keep them, how do we keep the content flowing in a way that our retention rate, our watch rate goes up, right? So we work backwards from that. So the first step is to get strategic. And the second thing is to be smart about your strategy. So here is where upcycling comes in. right? So upcycling, I have a quick definition for you. It essentially means to convert content into multiple formats for the purpose of adding value. And this is really key, bringing that piece of content into circulation again. And hence, I'm going to go back here and show you the upward spiral. This demonstrates that not only are you causing ripples around your content and having it, go out and reach more people, but you're creating more content from it that brings it back up, It keeps bringing the content back into circulation and back into the viewers, retention. And how does it do that? So here's an example. You see 3 tables over here. What I do typically for my own brand, and I do this for a lot of clients' brands also, that we produce core content, which is typically a YouTube video. And the reason we start with video is because it's the most content-rich format out there. And then from this YouTube video, we will create multiple types of content over different audiences and over different platforms. So for example, I will create a blog post with that video, right? I will take out the audio portion of it and put that up on iTunes or Stitcher or any kind of podcast platform. I will be able to take multiple images out of that video. And of course, I could make a presentation. And this list is very inexhaustive. There are so many different ways to do it, depending on what your ultimate goals are. And then, of course, then SlideShare and your blog and SoundCloud and Instagram, these are the distribution channels on where you can distribute all of this content. So notice what happens here is that all of these different formats are presenting the content in very different ways. So what I'm saying in a YouTube video is going to be very different from how it's going to appear in image form, right? Or how it's going to be in a blog post. So for example, in the blog post, there will be internal links, there'll be embedded images, there will be subtitles, there'll be a lot more context, and there'll be a lot more formatting, there'll be shorter paragraphs, it'll be easier to read and easy to scan, right? And compare that with a presentation, which will be visual intensive. So all of these are different ways of presenting the same information. And that is essentially what upcycling is. You take a video or a core piece of content and you upcycle it into different formats and on different platforms for different audiences. And you have to stay true to the platform. So let's get into the 5 benefits of upcycling. So the first one is that this method allows you to really be epic with your content. It allows you to focus on what you're creating, and it allows you to feel like what you're creating really matters. And because you're going to be spending so much time upcycling it into different formats, you should love what you're doing, right? That's where it should start from. I mean, imagine having to work with like a piece of content that you hate. That's terrible, right? So you should start with what you love, because only then will you keep thinking, what else can I do with this? What else can I do with this? This is so amazing. More people need to see this. That's where it all stems from. So it makes you create your best. The second amazing benefit is it's super fabulous for SEO, and maybe Purna could jump in here in the Q&A section, where essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to show up for all sorts of searches, right? Image search, video search, web search, text search. And so it's great for SEO because suddenly I'm taking that same piece and I'm converting it into different formats. The third reason is that, think about it this way. If 10 people benefit from your content, what are the chances that 1,000 people are going to benefit from it? What are the chances that maybe 10,000 people are going to benefit from this? So essentially what you're doing is you're extending your reach and you're letting more people get advantage of whatever it is that you've created, because, right, it's helpful and it's valuable. So you want more people to see it. And this is a great way to have extended reach. The fourth reason is, I'm so allergic to spam and I'm so allergic to being repetitive. So essentially, this little scarves you see on a black shirt here, I call this my dressing up strategy, right? And that essentially means that you have your little black dress, right? You have your basic stuff. You have your basic video or your basic blog post that you've written. Then you dress it up according to the platform that you're on. So for example, on Facebook, you could be like more social about it and more fun about it. On Instagram, you could be quirky and like really, really, have like all sorts of fun with that. On YouTube, you could be deep and strategic about it. On Snapchat, you could just go all out crazy. On your blog posts on your website, you could have your corporate branding, so you just dress it up in different ways. So it's really the same content, but how you present it, how you accessorize it, makes it not spam and makes it interesting to see things from all these different perspectives. The fifth reason, which I actually love this reason, is that it respects your audience's learning style. So think about it. I'm somebody who actually loves consuming blog posts because I read really fast. And so I can consume a post really, really quickly. And some people love watching videos. Other people love listening to podcasts on their commute home or to work, right? So people have different learning styles and they have preferences for different learning styles. So why not cater to all of the different ways that your audience likes to consume content? And so upcycling it really allows you to do that. And I've really put in a bonus reason here. So it actually respects the platform because guess what? All of these social platforms that you're distributing your content on, they all want you to do native. Facebook wants you to upload video directly to its platform, and that's how it's going to show it to more of your audience. And so, YouTube wants you to stay on YouTube and keep watching video after video. On your website, you want people to stay on your website and go through your sales funnel. So when you upcycle content in this way, it really respects the platform and you stay true and you stay native to the platform, which in turn helps your organic reach. So I really think about upcycling as you can upcycle for new formats, for new platforms, for new audiences, for new mediums, and new verticals. And if you want to know more about all of this and how I do it, I would love to invite you on a free call with me. This offer is just for the webinar attendees for Digital Olympus, and it's valid all throughout February. So you can go to this Calendly link I've put up here, and maybe Alex can share this out later. So it's calendly.com/Salma Jafri /upcycling. And maybe we could talk some more about how you can apply the strategy to 10x your content. And that really is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to your Q&A.